keep singing.
Hey, what's up guys, Ashbfc here to bring you my top 10 games of the year. So yeah, the year's pretty much over. I've played everything I'm going to play and I've compiled a list of my top 10. So yeah, so I actually made a little prequel video before this, a little while back, which was my top 10 games of the year so far, where I listed off 10 games in no particular order that were my favourite at that point of the year. So yeah, I'll put a link in the description if you want to check that video out, although I don't recommend it, it kind of sucks. So yeah, I'll just quickly recap what those 10 games were. So yeah, so they were in no particular order. Okay, so the 10 games were UFC Undisputed 3, Uncharted Golden Abyss, Resident Evil Revelations, The Darkness 2, Silent Hill Downpour, Sleeping Dogs, Mass Effect 3, Last Story, and Max Payne 3. Yeah, so as for the actual top 10, it's quite a little bit different. A lot of those games that were on the list I mentioned a few months ago, most of those have actually come off and been replaced with other games. So yeah, so before I actually get into the top 10, obviously, you know, you've got to bear in mind that I can't play every single game that comes out in a year. I can only do it on games that I've played. You know, I didn't have time to play everything. I mean, some games I did want to play, but I just didn't get around to doing it. And some games I skipped in favour of other games. For instance, I never played Halo 4, so if you're wondering why that's on the list, yeah, because I didn't play it. Alright, so here we go, my top 10 games of the year. Coming in at number 10, it's The Walking Dead. Yeah, this should be on everyone's list. This game is unbelievable. I mean, really. I mean, essentially, it's a point-and-click game. The gameplay elements are at a minimum. It's really all about its story, and an unbelievable story at that. It's absolutely incredible. Love the writing in this game, and it's the choices is what makes this game what it is. These unbelievable choices. I mean, it throws choices at you like I've never seen in a video game before. Seriously, yeah. Usually, when you get choices in a video game, it's a quick, you know, thought process. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with that. You don't really think too much about it. These choices, particularly the big ones, they stick with you. They make you sort of take a step back and think, oh crap, Jesus, what the hell do I pick? Is it really asking me to do that? And yeah, I mean, I was fazed by some of these choices, and I'm a guy that's been called heartless in the past by quite a few people. But yeah, they were, like I said, like choices I've never seen before in a video game. It's what really separates it from everything else. And some of them can make you feel really quite bad. Yeah, this game does not hold back. I mean, really, it doesn't hold back at all. And at its core, this game is very, very sad and depressing. I mean, it has got some light humour injected in it here and there, but yeah, at its core, it's very sad, very depressing game, and one hell of an experience. I mean, seriously, if you never played The Walking Dead, you've got to play this game. It's absolutely unbelievable, and a very, very sad ending to this game. And just get out there, I did not cry at the end. Just in case you were wondering, you know, if you cried, I didn't. Didn't cry. So yeah, The Walking Dead, unbelievable. Now number 9, it's Sleeping Dogs. One of the biggest surprises of the year, in my opinion. Wasn't really expecting much with this game. You know, it's got the whole GTA style to it, the open world driving sandbox thing. And well, you know, there's a history of all these games that try and, you know, imitate the GTA style that fail miserably. Often they always have like horrible driving mechanics, poor shooting, lackluster story. Yeah, most of them just aren't very good, with the exception of Saints Row. But yeah, Sleeping Dogs got it right. It nailed it on the head. This game was outstanding, absolutely brilliant. I mean, the driving mechanics were great, the shooting was great, and one of the cool things it had that I wasn't expecting was a great story. It actually had a really, really good story. Great cast of characters, top quality voice acting. It was really, really good, and again, this game doesn't hold back in the violence. Very brutal, and I love it for that. But I think where this game really shone through was the fighting mechanic, the hand-to-hand combat, the martial arts style. It was absolutely brilliant, so satisfying, so brutal. It uses the free flow style mechanic that we've seen in other games, like the Batman series and the Assassin's Creed series. And yeah, very, very satisfying, super brutal combat, and you learn all these new moves, and it's just so much fun, breaking bones, cracking heads, doing environmental kills. It's just absolutely brutal, and I never got bored of it. And all the missions are fun. It's pretty lengthy, there's a lot to do in this game, and yeah, ton of fun. And you know, one of the best GTA style games, you know, I think since GTA 4. Absolutely brilliant, worth checking out, and I really do hope we see a Sleeping Dogs too. So yeah, Sleeping Dogs. Alright, for number 8, it's Hitman Absolution. Huge fan of the Hitman series, been playing since day one, the very first game all those years ago. I've loved every entry in the series, and Absolution is no exception. I mean, I was waiting for this game for a long time. Did not disappoint me, although I will say, Blood Money is still my favourite Hitman. It's going to take a lot to top that game, but I'm not taking anything away from Absolution. Absolution is a very close second. Absolutely brilliant. You know, it's got a brand new engine, which the series definitely needed. Graphics are outstanding. You know, the animations are so much better than they have been in previous games. It's probably one of the most brutal Hitman games to date. Really good level design, pretty solid story. You know, and has some really cool replay value of all the challenges. If you want to get all the challenges, which they are all a ton of fun. I, for one, went back and did the missions multiple times to get all these challenges. You know, you've got things like do each mission in only your suit, find every weapon, you know, do specific kills like make a kill look like an accident, find all the disguises, all these really cool things, and they were a ton of fun. And like I said, I went back to get them all, so it's got replay value. And the cool thing is that it kind of takes Hitman in a slightly new direction, whilst also keeping true to what makes Hitman Hitman. You know, it doesn't alienate the old school fans. You know, it's really cool because not every mission you're just hunting down a target, which we've seen in previous entries. A lot of missions you don't actually have a target, you're just kind of on the run because you're the one being hunted in this game. And I thought that was pretty cool, a nice new twist to the Hitman series. And you know, great music, a couple of fun cameos from Payne Lynch from the Payne Lynch series. That was pretty cool. And yeah, just a great entry in the Hitman series. And yeah, still love the Hitman series. Absolutely brilliant game, worth checking out if you're a Hitman fan, or maybe even if you're not, it's still worth checking out. So yeah, Hitman Absolution. And for number 7, it's Dishonored. A game that brought something a little bit different to the FPS genre. Now I know it's technically not a first-person shooter, but you know, it is a first-person game. It's always going to get thrown in that category, so we'll just class it as a first-person shooter. But yeah, essentially it's a first-person sort of stealth game, maybe an action stealth game. There is a big emphasis on stealth, and I think that's really the best way to approach this game. It's certainly how I played this game. You know, there's too many games out there, the FPS genre, where you're running around, you just shooting anything that by God moves, and I've said before in the past, I'm really bored of the FPS genre. It's such an exhaustive and stale genre, and everything's a copy of Call of Duty, nothing's innovative. Every game that comes out now, it's been there, done that, nothing's new. But yeah, Dishonored, nice breath of fresh air, brought something new, and yeah, I absolutely loved it. And the cool thing is, there was multiple ways to go about your levels, you know, getting your targets or just sneaking past guards. Everyone's probably going to have a different experience with this game, you know. So yeah, it does have replay value, you know, with that aspect in mind. And you know, it had a pretty cool story, great graphics, the stealth mechanics worked really, really well. Love the aesthetics in this game and its music and the wacky characters and all the power-ups. Yeah, an absolutely brilliant game from start to finish, and highly recommend Dishonored, something different in the FPS genre. And yeah, again, I want to see a Dishonored 2, make it happen. Yeah, so at number 6 is Assassin's Creed 3, a game I did not think would actually be on this list. I lost interest in Assassin's Creed after number 2. I loved the first, and the second game was absolutely brilliant. Yeah, number 2 is one of my favourite games of all time. And then, you know, it turned into an annual franchise, and it started to, you know, decline rapidly in my opinion. Wasn't really feeling Brotherhood, really wasn't feeling Revelations. In fact, I didn't even finish Revelations. I got a few hours in and thought, you know, it's kind of the same recycled stuff. It felt more of an expansion pack, and thought, yeah, this is kind of the death of the Assassin's Creed franchise. And then, you know, 3 was announced the following year, and I thought, yeah, that's it, it's over for Assassin's Creed. So I wasn't going to buy 3. Then as I started to see more footage of this game, I thought, it actually does look really, really good. Looks to be some pretty cool changes. In the end, I bought it, and I'm glad I did, because it's absolutely brilliant. You know, it doesn't feel like an expansion pack, it doesn't feel recycled. It brings a lot of new stuff to the series, and some of the best stuff the series has ever seen. It's absolutely brilliant. I'm probably going to say it's not quite as good as number 2, but it's definitely a close second. It really is good, and it has restored my faith in the Assassin's Creed franchise. Like I said, it brings a lot of new, cool new stuff. The combat's better than ever, more brutal than ever, all these crazy weapons and new ways to kill people, you know, climbing in trees, you know, going through the snow, that was really cool. You know, all the missions were a ton of fun, the story was solid. What I really did, one of my favourite additions to this game was the naval missions. They were absolutely brilliant. I didn't think I would like them, but they were one of my favourite parts of the series was the naval missions. They were a ton of fun. And again, you know, it's a lengthy game, there's a lot to do, not just the main story. You can just go around exploring, killing people, hunting animals was a really cool addition. All the side quests to do and all the collection stuff. Yeah, an absolutely brilliant game in the Assassin's Creed franchise. And like I said, it's kind of restored my faith in the Assassin's Creed franchise. I just hope the next game will be as good as this one, but I won't hold my breath. Okay, for number 5, it's the last story, an action RPG on the Wii. In my opinion, this is possibly the best game on the Wii. Yeah, I absolutely love this game. I was waiting for it for a while. Again, it didn't disappoint me. I'm a sucker for RPGs. I love RPGs, be it an action RPG, JRPG, and yeah, I just absolutely love the last story. Like I said, one of the best games on the Wii, and a great game to sort of end the Wii. Kind of a nice swan song for the Wii. So yeah, it's from Mistwalker, that creates a Lost Odyssey, which is also one of my favourite RPGs of all time. And yeah, the game was amazing. I loved everything about it, all the great characters, it was funny, it had a great story, I loved the combat mechanics and the leveling up system. The boss fights were a ton of fun, you know, it provided a nice challenge, there was a lot to do from side quests, just in the main quest. Yeah, it was an absolute ton of fun, and yeah, even though it was quite short for an RPG, I mean, you're looking at about 20 hours or so, which is pretty short for an RPG, but I didn't mind. I loved every minute of it. Absolutely brilliant. Like I said, one of the best games on the Wii, and definitely worth checking out if you're struggling to find a decent Wii game to play, because it's a very good Wii game. In fact, it's an amazing Wii game, and I can't say that for many Wii games. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. A must play for RPG fans. Yeah, it's The Last Story. Absolutely brilliant. Okay, and for number 4, it's Virtue's Last Reward. Now, specifically, I'm talking about the Vita version. It did come out on the 3DS, so I do believe that's the inferior version. But either way, this game is, well, wow. It's basically the best way I can sum it up. I don't know what to say about this game. I really can't say too much about spoiling it. I mean, essentially, this game is more of a graphic novel or visual novel, however you want to call it, more than a game. The game play elements are at a minimum. But it's one hell of an experience. This game is an absolute must play on the Vita. It's unbelievable. I've been playing it non-stop. I got absolutely addicted. The story is just unbelievable. All these brilliant characters and all these twists and turns and shocks, and it just throws all these things that you don't expect. It's so unpredictable and it's amazing. I mean, the game has 24 endings, and believe me, once you sink your teeth into this thing, there's no doubt about it, you're going to want to see all these 24 endings. Trust me. It's just proper intense stuff. You need to know everything about this game. It's like unbelievable, all these characters and all this mysteriousness, and brilliant music as well to accompany it. The music fits so well with each, you know, particular moments within the game, you know, like the mystery moments, the more shocking moments. It just fits so well. And this game is actually a sequel to the DS game 999. Now, it is a self-contained story, but honestly, I highly recommend you play 999 before you play this game, because I think you'll appreciate it more that way. And 999 is an absolutely brilliant game. This is better than 999, I will say, but you'll also miss out on some pretty cool references as well if you don't play 999 before this game. But yeah, this game is quite the mindfuck. It's all I'm going to say. It's an unbelievable experience, and you want to get more into insight of how how much this game messes with you. Just check out Scottish Duck's video and just see what happened to him after playing this game. So yeah, Virtue's Last Reward, absolutely incredible, and I can't recommend this game enough. Unbelievable stuff. And for number 3...
Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity?
Well, I'll tell you what the definition of insanity is. It's not playing this game seriously. Here's Far Cry 3. Now, without a doubt, in my opinion, the greatest first-person shooter of the year. This game is unbelievable. Now, I was a huge fan of the original Far Cry back in the day when Crytek developed it. And then number 2 was one of the most disappointing games I ever played. I was just not feeling number 2. Once I got past all the graphics, I just didn't enjoy it. I thought the shooting was broken, the stealth mechanics didn't work, I thought the map felt all clustered and just driving around was an absolute chore, the missions were dull, the story was dull, and yeah, I just didn't like it. But number 3 changed all that. Number 3 improved on every possible way that it could. It blows Far Cry 2 out of the water. It's absolutely unbelievable. Vass is one of the most amazing villains ever in a video game. Even though he's not really in the game all that much, he's still unbelievable. The guy that voice acts him is incredible. He's an amazing character, and the game's got a solid story. The shooting's brilliant. Just driving around is a ton of fun. Exploring, I spent so many hours just driving around the jungle, hunting animals, being attacked by animals, swimming with sharks, wrestling alligators, taking down outposts, climbing radio towers. I mean, the graphics is unbelievable in this game. It's just an absolute blast, ton of fun from start to finish. Not a dull moment. And you know, it's very lengthy, so much to do, from the side quest to the main quests to just exploring the caves and stuff. It's absolutely outstanding, and yeah, I can't recommend this game highly enough. Like I said, my favourite FPS shooter of the year by far. This to me is what first person shooters are all about. Absolutely incredible.
Oh Jesus.
Alright, and for number 2, it's Mass Effect 3. Now, I'm the biggest Mass Effect fan ever. I absolutely love the trilogy, and in my opinion, each game got better, and 3 is my favourite, and absolutely brilliant. I thought it was a brilliant way to end the series. Regardless of the ending, okay, I know everyone's bitched and moaned about the ending. It's been blown way out of proportion. I know, sure, it's not really a great ending, but it's not as bad as people make it out to be. I mean, I've actually heard people say that the ending ruined the entire trilogy for them. Seriously? An ending's ruined a complete trilogy of games. 3 amazing games, really? I don't understand that. That's a ridiculous statement. Forget about the ending. Remember everything that came before the ending, okay? I'm willing to forgive a bad ending because of all the amazingness that came beforehand. But yeah, 3 was unbelievable. Amazing story like it was in the previous 2 games. Brilliant shooting mechanics. Brilliant choices to make. You know, I love playing as a renegade. I always love a choice being a good guy or a bad guy. Always like to play the bad guy. Yeah, absolutely brilliant, and yeah, amazing. I really don't need to say too much about Mass Effect. But yeah, but I will say this was probably the end of Mass Effect. Now that EA has officially fully sunk their teeth into BioWare, I'm sure the next Mass Effect will be probably really, really crap, and yeah, BioWare is probably going to end up being a really bad company now, because that's just what EA does. They buy out companies and they destroy them. So yeah, I think Mass Effect's going to be ruined now, but you know, I'm not going to forget the amazing 3 games that were the original Mass Effect trilogy. And yeah, Mass Effect 3, brilliant. Okay, and for number 1, my favourite game of the year.
The walk with a lift!
Max Payne 3. Yeah, this game was amazing. I mean, it's Rockstar, come on. Rockstar, I've said before in the past, I think they're one of the greatest developers of all time, and probably currently the best developer going. Everything they do is just absolutely golden. Yeah, I mean, I love the Max Payne series. The first games were the best games I've ever played. I love number 2, and number 3 was an absolutely amazing entry in the series as well. Okay, now there's a general misconception that Rockstar created Max Payne. Rockstar didn't create Max Payne. Remedy created Max Payne, and Sam Lake was the writer of Max Payne. He was also the face of Max Payne in number 1. Yeah, Remedy made Max Payne 1 and 2. They're the developers that made Alan Wake. Rockstar, I believe, published the second one, and Rockstar did develop the third one. And yeah, I was waiting for Max Payne 3 for the longest time ever. There was just nothing after number 2. There's no news of it or anything, and then I found out that Remedy wasn't going to be developing the next Max Payne, so I was all bummed out, like, oh no, it's then I found out Rockstar had taken it, so I thought, yeah, it's in safe hands. So I thought, yeah, you know, if there is going to be a developer that takes over Max Payne, who better than Rockstar? And they nailed it. I mean, very true to what Max Payne is. The writing wasn't as good as Sam Lake's writing from the previous 2 games, but it was still brilliant writing, you know, great one-liners from Max Payne. It was still dark and gritty like what Max Payne has been in the past, but it does, without a doubt, have the best gameplay in the entire Max Payne series. Brilliant gameplay, brilliant level design. Yeah, an absolutely brilliant Max Payne, and I will say it's not as good as number 1, but it's definitely better than number 2, and absolutely unbelievable game, and no doubt in my mind that this is my game of the year. And please Rockstar, please make Max Payne 4, please, just do it. I want Max Payne 4, come on. And for the honourable mentions, games that didn't quite make the list but I still think are worth mentioning, we've got The Darkness 2, UFC Undisputed 3, Lollipop Chainsaw, Pandora's Tower, Resident Evil Revelations, and Lucius. So yeah, there's the honourable mentions. Okay, so yeah, so that was my top 10 games of the year. Let me know your guys' opinions in the comments below. You know, what were your favourite games of the year? Do you agree with me? Is the games that you think should be on the list, do my opinions completely suck? Yeah, so what was your general thoughts of the year? Do you think it was a good year for gaming? Was it a bad year? Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to 2013. I think it's probably going to blow this year out the water. I mean, just look at the first quarter of next year. There's some absolutely unbelievable games coming out, you know, such as Grand Theft Auto 5, Tomb Raider, Devil May Cry, The Last of Us, Bioshock Infinite, you know, so many amazing games coming out next year. And possibly 2 new consoles. Fingers crossed that we'll see, you know, at least, you know, either an Xbox or the next PlayStation. Really looking forward to it. I think 2013 is going to be amazing. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video.